Ticks. Who needs them? They're nasty little insects that spread disease not only to us humans, but to our furry, four-legged friends as well.
Yeah, and that's what this next story is all about, because we want to protect our pets from these bugs and other insects too.
We recently paid a visit to Dr. Andrea Dennis of the Bloomfield Animal Hospital to get some answers about how to treat the disease and prevent it as well. Take a look. Hey everybody, here with Dr. Andrea Dennis at the Bloomfield Animal Hospital. It has been a while.
It's been a long while.
It's been a long while. It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you without your mask in person.
Right? I forgot what you look like.
I know.
So we're back, and we've got Finn here, who is a golden doodle.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful. But today we're talking about tick-borne illnesses.
Yes, exactly.
So let's get into it. Talk to us about what you're seeing here at the animal hospital.
Well, this time of year we see a lot of ticks, and there's a whole life cycle that's taking place in ticks. So they're active, they're hatching from their larval stages into nymph stages, they're feeding like crazy. So what do they want? They want a warm body to attach to. And that includes us as humans, our dogs, our cats.
Just gross. I don't want them anywhere near me or my pets.
Exactly, and that's why I thought we would. Finn, its coloring was perfect for this because we could be sure that he doesn't have any ticks on him, which is fantastic. But the most common tick diseases that we see here in Connecticut is obviously Lyme disease, right?
Lyme disease. Now, can animals get Lyme disease?
They can.
And can affect them adversely?
Absolutely. I mean, they can get really sick, and a lot of people think of lamenesses and arthritis. Then dogs, we tend to see that, but also we see a really permanent problem with their kidneys. They can actually go into really bad kidney failure because of it. So that's why it's somewhat of a silent disease, because those ticks are so small and tiny. So that's one of the first things we worry about here in the Northeast is Lyme disease.
Okay.
But a couple other ones are called anaplasmosis and ehrlichiosis. Also, we test for those all the time, but those are also diseases that we see here in the state of Connecticut.
Cats can also get Lyme disease. Son 2 and Lady Maggie have come for a checkup today, but according to Dr. Dennis, they fare better than dogs.
It's amazing about cats. They're susceptible to, they can get Lyme, but they're highly resistant to it.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yes.
Whether it's a cat or a dog, if they go outside, you want to check for ticks.
When they've been outside, right, Finn, you want to be able to check them over, and a lot of times you won't see ticks, but you'll feel them. So if you can kind of like run over their heads, pick up those ears, and sometimes you feel like a little scab.
Yep.
All right, then you want to go back and then
look it over.
Right.
Dr. Dennis is all about prevention.
So there's certain things that we can do to prevent, and you know every time we've come on the show we talk about prevention.
Yep.
How can we prevent these diseases from occurring?
First things first, Dr. Dennis recommends getting your dog vaccinated. There's not a vaccine for cats yet, but they do have them for dogs. Finn is getting his second shot today.
The reason why we still vaccinate for Lyme disease is, one, it's available, and two, is that no product is going to be 100%. You know, some ticks are still going to get through. And it works really, really well. Even the cases that I see of dogs that just have all these swollen joints from Lyme, it's much better, even if it may not work 100%, they're not as sick as if they didn't get it.
Okay.
And you see, he was really good about it.
Yeah,
he knew I did something, but wasn't quite sure what that was.
And then there are products to prevent the little buggers from causing harm. The products come in topical form or oral form. And as you can see, there's a few to choose from.
These are oral medications for fleas and ticks. That's called NexGard. This one lasts for a month, and you give it every month. This was just for up to 60 pounds, and this is for a small dog. So these basically do the same thing. This is, it's been around for a while. This is one of my favorite.
Okay.
Now, these are not repellents. People talk about getting something that's a repellent, and it's very hard to find a good repellent that works.
And then there's something called Revolution for cats.
There is a product that we like called Revolution that does heartworm disease, which is from mosquito bite, and it also does fleas and ticks too. So I just don't want people to forget about their kitties, especially if they go outside.
Okay.
Again, we talked about they tend to have, they can get infected with Lyme, but they tend not to show the disease because they just have an innate resistance to the... He's a love, I'm telling you.
There are also collars for dogs and cats, but Dr. Dennis says to be careful with collars.
Some people love those tick collars.
Okay, and they work, the
They
tick
do
collars?
work.
Okay.
They do. The flea and tick collars do work.
Okay.
I just am not a fan in terms of them sometimes getting their paws caught in it, etc. Oh, we're in love. We're in love.
Sorry.
These are just a few of the products on the market to prevent ticks from spreading their disease. To find out which one is right for your pet, talk to a vet.
Talk to your veterinarian. I think that's the best about what's going to be the best preventative for you to use with your pets.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Andrea Dennis at the Bloomfield Animal Hospital. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure seeing you.
Keep your pet safe.
Absolutely.
All right, and again, if you think there is something up with your pet, it's always best to bring them to the vet.
Absolutely. Dr. Dennis has her practice in Bloomfield, and for more information on that, you can head to BloomfieldAnimalHospitalCT.com.
Thanks, Doc. Always a good